November 6, 2025. It is the Beating the Book podcast MegaPod for week number 10 in the National Football League. Gil Alexander, thanks for listening. Live from our glorious Sirius XM studios at the Wynn Las Vegas, where Jeremiah and Brian make it happen, and John Goulet, when he gets around to being with us, then he makes it happen as well. We appreciate you listening. As always, the pillars of the show here with us each and every week. Leader of the MegaPod, it's his podcast after all, from his mom's cork attic in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Squirrel Hill, Todd Wishnev, star of the Showtime docuseries Action. Toddy?
Kelly Alexander, how the hell are you? I'll tell you, the first 3 days here, college basketball have been outstanding. So I'm in a heck of a mood, but I have something else I'd like to talk about. So our listener, Steve, sends me a message on Twitter, and he says, looking forward to hear your Dolphins after the blah, blah, blah. Please point out to Gil that his guy Jaden won a whopping 2 regular season games against above 500 teams last season, and one of them was against a 4-2 Bears team. I said, well, why are you guys attacking poor Gilly? But then I thought to myself, Gilly's catching up on me. I've got to do anything I can to troll him. So this guy says, if I send you a Drake May jersey, will you wear it on the MegaPod? And I said, yes, I will. Let's go, Drake May.
Drake May wishes he was Jaden Daniels.
Now, he's actually a good guy because he said he felt bad after Jaden Daniels got injured because we did this before the injury, set this up. And then he goes, go easy on Gil about Jaden and how awful his skins are this week because of the injury. So I guess he felt bad. So I'm supposed to not go as hard on you with my new Drake May jersey.
What size is that, Todd? I'm just curious.
This is a 3X, and I wish you would have gotten a 4X. It's a little, not that great. Little touch and go.
Little touch and go on the Drake May jersey. You look good. You look good in a Patriots blue. Will Hill joins us as well. Also on Twitter at not the Will Hill. Todd's at T Wishnev, the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast. Again, originally titled, I wish I had wagered a greater dollar amount because the outcome was so successful that now I feel bad that I didn't win as much money as I could have. And then I said to him, just call it Shoulda Bet More. And he's like, great idea.
You mean like Georgia minus 41.5 yesterday, who won by 61?
Yeah,
Todd,
New Mexico team total over. Gilly, I'm always grateful for that conversation. It was a much better title. And
thank you.
This is where I must have my head elsewhere because I've been sitting here for 10 minutes talking to Wishnev. I see the Patriots jersey, and it didn't even occur to me why he's wearing this. I didn't think to ask him. Nothing seemed off to me. So I don't know. I need to focus, as our buddy Fez says.
This is a trolling jersey about the best first round pick of the draft when Jaden Daniels was in it. Go, Drake May!
I don't know why Todd's in on this. I have no idea why he's in on this. He's trying to rattle me with my picks. Todd, real quick, because I'll forget later, just a brief college basketball aside, where do people go to sign up for your college basketball?
You can send me a direct message at T Wishnev on Twitter. Send me a direct message with your phone number and install WhatsApp on your phone, and I'll put you in. Unfortunately, there's only 1,024 slots on a WhatsApp group, and I'm up to about 850. So it's going to start getting touch and go shortly.
Did you bet a lot yesterday, or did I just not get them?
I was 5-1, but I didn't put them for you because a lot of them were like team totals, which I didn't think you could get. I put up the ones that I thought you might be able to get.
Oh, once again, the guy that helps him out the most gets.
One second, I'm doing the extra text for you. I just wasn't going to waste your time with New Mexico team total when you were going to say something like, I can't get that here in Vegas.
I'm not betting probably in Vegas, if you know what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, our rotating guest this week, always a annual appearance from this gentleman. He is the winner of multiple contests in Las Vegas. Let me just give you a brief smattering of those. He won the Win Eliminator contest over 10 years ago, $100,000. He won the Palms contest in 2011 as well. He won Last Man Standing over at Stations, the college football version, in 2016. Since then, he has finished, I think there was 1 year in Circa where he finished second and fifth in Circa Millions as well. He will tell me if there's any more contests that I left out. It's the great Las Vegas Chris in studio. Chris Zeniuk. Did I pronounce that correctly, Chris? Zeniuk.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
See you guys.
How you doing? Am I hearing you okay in my mic? Are people hearing Chris okay? Are we hearing Chris? You guys hear him?
Sounds a little far away from the mic, but it's good to see you, Chris.
Jam that thing up in your mouth.
Is this better?
That's much perfect.
Okay.
There you go. How you doing, man? You doing good?
I am doing well. Just very busy as a bee. I have no time for anything. It's home ownership requires a lot more time than I anticipated.
Home ownership. You're doing well, though, health-wise? Knock on wood, everything okay?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a good reminder. Make sure you get your colonoscopy. Nobody wants to hear about that stuff, but if I had gotten a colonoscopy earlier, I would have avoided $1.4 million in insurance costs and a lot of pain and aggravation and lifetime obstacles that I have to live with.
Wow. Okay.
But overall, I'm cancer-free now, and all is going well.
Okay. Well, you look great. And as you said, well, because I showered, which was nice of you. We also, by the way, it's the 15th year of the MegaPod. The 15th year. And our MegaPod historian, Tim Lawson, always sort of gives a background on the guests in terms of their appearances on the MegaPod. This, Chris, if you had to guess how many times you've been on the MegaPod, what would you have guessed?
12.
13.
Oh.
Well, you've been on 12. This is your 13th,
Okay.
so maybe you got it correct. This is your 13th appearance on the NFL MegaPod, your first episode, week 9 of 2015. A big discussion in that episode was the movie Jobs and how unimpressed I was with the film. Las Vegas Chris has not missed a season since his debut 10 years ago. This is the longest consecutive streak of seasons among all current guests.
Cal Ripken.
Wow.
All right.
He's among the top group of guests for total appearances, with only a handful having more than his total of 13. Also, this episode is approximately the point. Oh, listen to this one, Toddy. This episode today is approximately the point where Todd Wishnev has hosted as many episodes as VR and Marco have. Wow. VR and Marco co-hosted about 142 episodes over 7 seasons. And this episode is around that same number for Todd. It's approximate because without checking every episode, I can't be 100% certain, he says. This is Todd's 7th season, and he has co-hosted 67 episodes with Mike Palm, 23 with Jeff Parles, and more than 50 now with Will Hill. Todd was able to hit this number faster than VR and Marco because earlier seasons were void of Thanksgiving week and final regular season week episodes. That's right. Back in the day, I half-assed it. I didn't do an episode on Thanksgiving or a week, I guess at the time was week 17.
Longer seasons, too.
And longer seasons now. So Todd Wishnev, little MegaPod history. Todd, where does this rank in your pantheon of life achievements?
Well, I'll say I've never survived doing an entire season of podcasts with one Steven Fezzik, as Mr. Las Vegas Chris has. So that's pretty impressive.
I did 2 of them.
I know. I don't know how you survived.
When you get him away from Twitter, he's a peach.
That's right.
I know. Chris, I'm just needling him because I love needling him because he constantly tries to ruin my bets and says they're winners prior to them actually being winners, causing Hashem to step in and try to screw me at the end of the game, which annoys me to no end.
Crack on the radio side today, Todd. You'll appreciate this. Crack was telling stories about playing poker with a table full of Hasidic Jews, and they referred to him as William during the whole. William, it's your turn. William, oh. Yeah, Fezzik is, just don't follow him on Twitter. Follow with Peril. Peril is awaiting you if you follow him on Twitter at Fezzik Sports.
Oh, I also want to mention that 3 summers ago, I had my colonoscopy, very clean, no polyps.
I think I had one, but it was benign. Thanks for asking. Colonoscopy radio.
Did you have
That's what we're
polyps, though? Did you check out your polyp stat score?
I did check out the score. They just told me it was benign.
Okay, good job.
Here's the dealio. Records, Todd, update, please.
Okay, well, for one of the first times in MegaPod history, and our historian might be able to go back and tell us this, but all 3 of us were on the Falcons plus 5.5. That usually spells doom. But this time we were able to get a W. I argued with Gilly. It was all 3 of us did not deserve the win. The Falcons were never covering in the game. They were getting whacked 21-7 late. We needed a 4th and 8 catch by Drake London out of his tochas. I don't even know how he caught the ball, and somehow he got the cover.
That's a 4th and 8 catch. That's not like, for instance,
picking the
and then fumbling it and then having another team score.
Of course, it wasn't as bad as that. I'm not saying it was bad as that. I'm just saying I thought all 3 of us were rather fortunate. Anyways, with that said, Gilly had a nice solid 2-1, his Falcons and his Denver. And of course, him and Willie both fell for the old Steelers Yinzer trickaroo with the Colts. So Gilly goes to 13-14 and with his 2-1. He lost his teaser to go to 2-7. The Lions were the culprit. Will Hill went 1-2, and right now is being a victim of small sample size, guys. He's 7-20. Now, remember, guys, we're all going to go 7-20. In fact, we're all going to go 4-23 many times in our gambling career. Unfortunately, it's happening to Willie right now. Listen, I don't want to buck the guy up. I think he's a jerk just personally, but it's a small sample size. You can't go against this guy. Now, teaser, he lost with the Lions as well. He goes to 4-5. I was a nice solid 2-1 as well, to move to 13, 12, and 2 with a 1 full game lead, 2 in the loss column versus Gilly. I went 2-7 because I finally won a teaser. And then our guest chair, which was one of the most popular guests, I felt like maybe one of the most popular for the last couple of seasons, one Stormy, don't try and spell my last name, Buonantoni, went
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Sponatoni, but sure, go ahead.
She went 1-2 to move the guest chair to 12, 14-1, and teaser lost to move to 3-6. So that's a little recap of where we are. Gilly breathing down my neck, and that's why I got the Drake May jersey on to mess with his picks.
All right, Dumbo of the week. I'm just going to say Dan Quinn for keeping Jaden Daniels in, and this is not armchair quarterbacking. This is not hindsight. I texted you guys at 7:48 p.m. Pacific. I said, get Jaden out. 8:02 Pacific, his arm breaks. I'm just saying it's him. Anybody else?
There was one other one, wasn't there? A guy.
Yeah, there was.
I can't remember what it was now. It was some really stupid decision.
I thought D'Amico Ryans forcing the envelope with a backup quarterback and not just running out the clock and going to overtime in his own territory was really
that was the one.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, that was bad, I thought.
Wait, what was the D'Amico Ryans?
D'Amico Ryans was all the way back on his own end, way by his end zone with not a lot of time left in regulation. He should have just tried to find a way to get to overtime, but instead he threw incomplete passes, and that gave the Broncos the opportunity to give Gilly a very nice Plinko-ish win. And, I agree.
The losses are always, when it's me, they're always big losses.
Yes.
According to Top.
Any criticism against Gilly is anti-Gillyism.
That's exactly right. I know from you, that's exactly what it is. All right. Todd, in-game that you'd like to share?
Quick in-game-aroo. Third quarters, guys. Rams playing the Saints. Rams completely dominating the game. It's 20-3 late first half. Shook can't do anything. Some books have these team totals for third quarters. Now, the Rams, what'd you say?
About Shuck. How did he do in the play?
Shuck wasn't doing very good. In the beginning of the third quarter, the Rams were going to get the football. They had already gone on 2 gigantically long drives in the first half that took up 5 and 6 minutes of clock. They were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. So you knew that the Saints might only get 1 possession in the third quarter. And you also knew down 20-3 late second quarter, even though they got the touchdown late first half, they may be down big after that possession and may not even want to kick a field goal. So I took under 2.5 third quarter Saints, figuring Saints are probably going to have to go for it anyways and not kick a field goal. Even if they got in field goal range, they might survive that way. And they may only get 1 drive because the Rams are just going to play keep away. It's exactly what happened. The Rams went on a 9-minute drive to start the third quarter. So the Saints got a grand total of, I think, 4 plays in the third quarter and didn't sniff a field goal. It was one of the easiest winners of all time. But if you can find those spots on those third quarters where the team getting the ball is going to grind clock and will be able to move the chains, like if you're going against Kansas City or something like that, where they may come out in the third quarter and go on a 6-7 minute drive, that other team isn't going to have enough time to get enough points in the third quarter to beat those third quarter team total overs. Or if you want to play the other team money line as well. But the idea basically is figure out how many possessions is this crappy team who's getting the ball second actually going to get in the third quarter. I mean, it happened to also hit the Steelers under third quarter and the Giants third quarter under, because both of those teams also weren't going to get much possessions in the third quarter. But there's a lot of opportunity there, I feel. Your thoughts?
You do much in-game betting, or is it all pre-flop for you?
I've had to shift. I actually had the under 14.5 on that Saints, so I was happy to see that goose egg in the second half because they gave up that touchdown in the second quarter, and it looked like they were going to let the Saints go over. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of in-game now because with what I set up with teasers and such, I create bubbles of optimal land, numbers for games, and sometimes I protect my bubble, so to speak. So the Monday night I had a big giant bubble with Arizona and Dallas. So I did not want Dallas to lose by more than 7. So in game I was betting Arizona -6.5, -5.5 money line into some games I'm using this week, just as insurance policies in case Arizona did win by more than 7.5.
And they did.
And they did. So I get a rebate.
Yeah. Chris, do you like the third quarter and first quarter angles?
You know what? I can only focus on so much stuff, but they are solid angles. I just am not utilizing them myself.
How are you doing in contests this year, by the way?
Horrible. I just streaky. It seems like I win them all or lose them all, and I need more win them all weeks.
I feel like there's a lot of people that have that same story this year. I know Kelly Bidlin, who's the on a numbers game. He says he's only had 0-5, 1-4s, or 4-1 and 5-0s. No 2-3s and 3-2s. And I know a couple people like that this year.
It's been awfully streaky. It's been a very odd year. I mean, with so many favorites covering, home underdogs not covering, that is awfully atypical. So it's just been strange. It really has. 1 week of it's 1 week the model does really well, and then the next week it's crap, and it's strange because it usually doesn't work that way.
But you'll correct me if I'm wrong, and then we'll move on to the best bets. But you and Fezzik are sort of similar, I believe, in the same way that when you're doing contests like Super Contest or Millions, 5 plays against the spread, you guys are doing it. You're always playing it, the best of the number based on the static line versus where it is later in the week. And that some years when you do it that way, not that every game is going to work out that way, but whenever there's an opportunity to play it that way, some years that doesn't actually work out, right?
Oh, I find that comment insulting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the last thing I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
Well, no.
And you lumped him in with Fezzik. That's really rude.
That's the real problem.
I'm funning back with you, but no, the deadlines are last resorts in my mind, because I want to avoid the herd, so to speak. So that I'm definitely not looking for the line moves. I am looking for other games. You just don't want to be with the herd too often unless you're, out in front. So you need to be away from those games, if anything.
All right. We're 20 minutes in. I've insulted the guest. There it is. First time ever. All right. Best bets. Let us begin with Thursday night football. Is anybody have a bet in the Thursday night football game? A best bet? Chris?
No. You guys have a teaser of the week, though, right?
It's coming.
Okay.
Todd, you have a bet?
I might use that in the teaser of the week.
Todd, you got a bet tonight?
I wouldn't bet it, but I would say be very careful if you're taking the Denver Broncos. That's all I'll say.
All right. I'm taking the Denver Broncos. That's my first bet.
Oh, seriously?
Yep, taking the Denver Broncos. What's the number we have right here?
I have either 9 or 9.5. What do you have, Willie?
Consensus number. I see that the consensus is 9.
Surprising.
9. It's 9 to me.
It's not going to make a difference. We'll give them the 9.
Yeah, 9.
All right,
fine.
not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
9.
Mostly 9.
All right, I don't want to bore people with a litany of advanced metrics here, but the Raiders' offense, 30th in the league in offensive DVOA, ahead of only the Titans and Browns. Broncos 4th in opponent EPA per play, 1st in opponent success rate. Broncos actually better at home this season, 3rd in net yards per play on their home field, plus 1.6. Only 5 quarterbacks with at least 5 starts worse under pressure than Geno Smith, reflected in his 42.1 ranking at Pro Football Focus. Vance Joseph's defense blitzes the 7th most, 27.4%, has registered the 3rd highest pressure, 28.2%. That's not good for Geno. The Broncos defense, 40 sacks, 12 more than the second place team, the Detroit Lions. Wow. How about that? Raiders, worst run unit, according to DVOA and EPA per play, 29th in the league in EPA per play overall on offense. Denver's defense, 4th in the NFL in yards per carry allowed, 6th in the league in EPA per rush, 6th in terms of fewest yards allowed through the air per game, pardon me. And Denver's defense, 4th in the NFL in EPA per play allow overall. Broncos have been one of the best teams in the league when it comes to covering tight ends, although I think Brock Bowers will do some damage. But Raiders just 23rd in the NFL in EPA per play allowed, and especially miserable against the pass, 25th in the NFL in EPA per pass. Anyway, I could go on for hours. You get the idea.
Is this more of an anti-Raider play or a positive Denver play?
I just explained to you it's both ways.
Okay.
I don't know if you were listening or if you fell asleep there.
No, I said which one would you think more? That's all. Sorry.
Well, you can apologize and act like I was the one who said something wrong there, but I'm just saying it's both sides. It's complete domination on both sides. And I think especially it is really the Broncos defense against the Raiders offense. And the Raiders don't have Jacoby Myers here. So it is going to be all about Brock Bowers and Michael Meyer. And I just think the Broncos are up to the task. And I know a lot of people have there's boxes that I don't want to check. It's a division game. It's a short game. By the way, also the Raiders are coming off a short week where they played in overtime as well. On top of that short week, and they're on the road in elevation. There's more and more of this. I'm going with the Broncos -9.
You know what you left off is not only are they best in sacks by 12. I looked, they were number 1 in sacks offensively, defending sacks too. Sacks
as well.
And as you mentioned, the Raiders
had it with Todd already in his Drake May jersey. He's already gotten him in.
The Raiders defense 70 snaps last week.
All right, I'm sorry.
I'm just scared that, I know in the NFL this year, you can just go to the window and say the most obvious bet and just cash your ticket every single time. Oh, I'll take Colts -1 million against Tennessee. I'll take this one -1 million against this one. And you just cash every week. This seems so obvious. There's no one's going to bet the Raiders. And I'm just like, is it really that easy?
Although people are betting the Raiders because this is kind of bounced around right in the middle.
Opened at 10
and 7. Yeah, so it's bounced around. It's not as high as it was. This is the opposite. What you're describing, Todd, is the opposite of the old Family Guy thing with Peter Griffin, where he goes up to the ticket window and he goes, "Here's $100," and they're like, "What would you like to bet on, sir?" He goes, "No, just take the $100. Just take."
I think O'Donnell is able to play going forward, is he not? And that's something that they were hyping preseason a little bit under the radar. He had a really great preseason and was looking good. And some were predicting that Geno wouldn't make it through the season because O'Donnell was looking so good in early play. So if he could be a little snafu on things.
Geno has some interesting. We usually talk about baseball starting pitchers with home road splits. Geno has some amazing home road splits, which for him is often artificial turf versus outdoors or indoors versus outdoors. And it is very much in favor of the home games for him.
I think he's 0-5 on primetime games too.
Could it be that easy, Toddy? I don't know. You're right.
I mean, I guess it is. I guess it's that easy, but
what's your count? Let's put it this way. What's your counter argument besides?
No, I can't make any. I think you're 100% right. To me, it looks like more obvious than anything I've ever seen. How in the world can the stink ass Raiders do anything against the it looks ridiculous, right? But they did almost. What'd you say?
It's playing, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. You're absolutely. It's a National Football League.
I mean, they almost lost to the Giants at home.
If the Raiders won by 3, would I be shocked? No, of course not, because it's the NFL. But that's the way I'm going. Toddy, Chris, you have honors, Your Honor. What is your first best bet?
Oh, first best bet?
I'm sorry to shock you.
If he's not ready, we can give him a second and we can go and then
let's go. Let's I have disorganized.
Toddy, what's your first?
Okay, we'll give him a second. And I'm going to go with a little team that some of you might have heard of before. And it goes a little bit like this. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Because we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins. We're going to get the against the spread cover. Anyways. Wow. I went with a little old classic Miami without changing too many of the words this week. But I like the Miami Dolphins plus the 9.5, I believe I'm getting. Am I right? Plus 9.5. You look that up and I'll talk. The Miami Dolphins, when last seen against this very Buffalo Bills squad on the road in Western New York, they were almost tied in the fourth quarter, if I believe, or I think it was 21. It was 28-21, and they were getting the ball or something. I can't remember exactly, but they made a penalty on roughing the kicker. They were very much in the game in the first Buffalo game. We get to bet against Buffalo after they just basically shot their load against Kansas City Chiefs. It was their big game of the year. They shot their load, got the W, and now you got to think. What'd you say?
I say it one more time.
Yeah, they shot their load. Anyways, the point is they just had their big W against the Chiefs. Now everyone's going to get all bonerific about the Buffalo Bills. Oh, the Bills are the team. Oh, Bills. Yeah, but they're still the Bills. They still don't really have a good defense. Now, granted, they played great against the Chiefs. I'm not going to say they didn't. I thought it was an outstanding performance. But you're going to have to do it more than once to really prove it to me. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons, this same Buffalo Bill team. They gave up a zillion points in that Miami game to Miami, and we get to get Miami off a game. They lost 28-6 against Buffalo, but wait a second, against Baltimore. Wait just a second. They could have won that game. I'm going to go out on a limb. They were inside the 10-yard line multiple times. They certainly could have covered. I know you're shaking your head. They were, that game should have been a much tighter game. There were a million mistakes in the red zone and all kind of nonsense that led that to become a 28-6 game. That was a much tighter game. And I got to think that Mr. Capri Pants is going to tell his boys, hey, guys, we got to cut out all the mistakes, and we just got to stay within 9.5. And we're at home. All the hot ladies from Miami are going to be at the game. There's this guy in the sports book that tells me, hey, guy, when Ball State's at home, he goes, Ball State's going to cover tonight. You know why? Because all the guys want to get some skirt. That's what he says. He goes, all the guys want to get some skirt, so they're going to play great tonight. Miami's at home. They're going to play great tonight. They want to get some skirt. Give me Miami plus 9.5.
I didn't hear anything after bonerific. That's right.
That was a very sexual pick. I had a lot of sexual innuendos.
A lot of sexuality there. Okay. Willie, what's your first?
What do we have for Seahawks Cardinals?
I like how he wants the answer first before he calls his shot. Very smart. Seahawks Cardinals. By the way, it'll be Jacoby Brissett once again.
I see 6.5. What do you guys see?
6.5. That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, from a betting standpoint, you should probably wait in case you get a 7. I think there were 7s early in the week. I'm taking Arizona. I think they're underrated. You look at their 5 losses by a combined 13 points. They really haven't been blown out. They had the ball inside the 10 to beat Indy. They could have beaten Green Bay. They dropped a pass against the 49ers early in the season to keep them from being 3-0.
What about against Tennessee? What happened?
They got demarcadoed and lost by a point in still a game that I just cannot believe. They're plus 9 in point differential. And this rookie, Walter Nolan, the pass rusher from Ole Miss, their first rounder, was awesome against the Cowboys on Monday night. I think it's a good time to sell high on the Seahawks. I know Sam Darnold has played well, but it's still Sam Darnold. These teams played on Thursday Night Football early in the season, came down to a last-second field goal. I know Seattle dominated most of that game, but I'm going to take the points here. I just think this is a good selling point for Seattle, and I think Arizona is underrated. So I just can't see Seattle continuing to just bludgeon everybody week after week. I think Brissett fits that offense, and I'll take the points here with Arizona.
All right, Chris, you get 2.
Yeah, I think Arizona is underrated. That's an interesting matchup, and that's a monster underrated pickup Seattle got with that Rashid. He really adds something to Seattle. But Seattle's when you've got a team that looks that good on national TV and just blows a team away, that's the top of the game. They got to come down. I still think it's a tough game.
That was about the most dominant half of football.
It's unbelievable.
And the weakest half of football from the Skins that I've ever seen in any level of football, except for that Utah-Colorado game a couple weeks before that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to go with this Los Angeles Chargers. I got it right.
There you go.
They're no longer San Diego. It's been that long since they moved. This is as much of a bet against the Steelers as it is a bet on the Chargers. Whether the line seems to be teeter-tottering between 2.5 and 3, you should be able to get a 2.5 someplace, or a money line. But Pittsburgh I don't know how the hell they're doing it. It's unbelievable. It's smoke and mirrors. I have them so lowly rated. It just seems like they catch teams at the right time or they get the right breaks. I don't know how the hell they're doing it, but the Chargers rank in the top 10, both offensively and defensively. And Joe Alt being out is not an added bonus to the wager because they do struggle a little bit more with him out of the lineup, and they'll have to compensate for that. But I just feel that the Chargers are, the far better team in this situation. And there's far more urgency with them in their division and their situation. And I think they've got the coaching advantage. And I don't have Pittsburgh in the top half of either offense or defense. So Chargers.
Chargers.
Yep.
Okay. Pick number one. You want to do a second one right here? We'll snake with you.
Oh,
What does he get the Chargers at, guys? What does he have the Chargers at?
-2.5, right, on the Chargers?
yeah, 2.5 money line or money line. I don't lay points in the NFL anymore, so
No money lines allowed from the Megapod statute, Chris.
I know, but I would still lay the 2.5 or the 3,
Okay.
whatever.
Actually, it's 2.5. 2.5 works. All right, number 2. Unless you want us to move on and come back to you.
Yeah, no, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
I'll throw one out here. You know what? I'll throw Indianapolis. No, I'll throw Houston in here because I just think Houston's getting overlooked. I realize that things aren't looking that great for them at this point, but I was on Jacksonville early. The model picked up Jacksonville early this season when they were doing well. That was, the few wins I was getting was on Jacksonville. And the tide has turned on that, though. Jacksonville's really not doing things well. Trevor Lawrence is, bottom 5 of quarterbacks and in so many statistical categories. He's going to get some help, but it's not going to help overnight. There's just a lot of flaky things with Jacksonville. And Houston, I think, has better coaching. I think that they have... I don't like Mills in the lineup, but at least he has a week to prepare. And they do have a great defense. And I just think it's an overreaction to recent events that the line is where it is. I think it's value. So I like Houston.
All right, Chargers followed by Houston. Chris's 13th straight year on the Megapod might be his last after I insulted him earlier on the show. Could be the end of that streak. Toddy, no, Will, you're next.
No, it's
Will,
my turn.
No, we're snaking.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Todd.
Now,
I should listen.
By the way, I agree with Chris's Houston pick. I think they're definitely getting a little. And you know what? When you bet on Jacksonville, you take your life into your own hands. I mean, a lot of us had them in the in game against the Raiders. Even when they do something right, it's always like, against the Chiefs, the guy falls down. He has to pick himself up and run in the end zone. They hand off to Tootin. Remember at the end of the Chiefs game when Lawrence fell down and picked himself up?
The best description of that touchdown I heard was a new horse being born touchdown. Like a new horse being born.
And then last week against Toot, they hand the ball to Tootin inside the 5-yard, and it looks like it's almost going to get like fumbled, and somehow he gets it. It's like every play with them is like pulling teeth, like for them not to make a mistake. So, to me, I agree with Chris wholeheartedly. Now, Davis Mills doesn't give you a lot of things to, but here's the thing: you have the Houston defense. That's the best. That's the best side of the ball in the whole game. No, I'm just saying that I liked Chris's pick, and sorry for commenting, Willie. What's wrong with you? Give this guy some Texas Roadhouse rolls to calm down. My God. I'll take for my second pick. I'll go down to Florida again. This time, -2.5 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah.
But you're wearing a Drake jersey. Wow. Going against your jersey.
I'm going against the jersey with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm going to tell you why. The New England Patriots. Look, I'm wearing the jersey to troll Gilly and to hopefully mess with his mind and his picks. However, the Patriots, before this past week, which they should have covered again, I know he disagrees with me, but they should have covered again. They've been covering every single week. Now basically they're valuing New England as a real team. Have you ever seen this with these teams at the beginning of the year? They're not considered good teams, and then they play really, really well, and then all of a sudden they started to get valued like a real team. Like I feel they're getting valued this week, getting 2.5 at Tampa, a very good team. They're basically saying, Patriots, you've come of age. You're a real contender now. And then those kind of teams, often when they finally get to the point where everyone has agreed that they deserve to be priced like a real team, whoosh, they get ripped back down to earth. Patriots defense to me is not that good. I feel Baker Mayfield, who has really stepped up this year, will find a way with whatever people he has. Now, granted, he's got a mash unit over there on offense, but he'll find a way against this Patriots defense that ain't that great at home to get the W. The Patriots are due to have a bad game, a turnover game, some mistakes game. It's got to come here, and now they're going against real team action. So give me Tampa Bay minus the 2.5. All I got to do is win by 3. Gilly, if I win by 3, I win the minus 2.5, correct?
I think that's correct. Let me check on that. I'm being told yes, that's correct.
Excellent.
In my ear. Yep. Thanks for keeping that asexual, by the way. Appreciate it.
There were no innuendos or innuendos in that one.
Let me ask you guys this question before Willie gets his. You notice, in addition to the spate of long field goals, Cam Little sets the record, 68-yard field goal. These K-balls are just going forever. It's amazing. We might have that broken by the end of the year also. Last week, there was an epidemic of first and goals at the ones where teams could not punch it in unless at all, or then maybe took 3 or 4 tries to do this. So you noticed this last week? It happened in like 5 different games with 5 different teams.
Yeah, I had those teams.
You had all of them? Yeah, every single one of them.
It seems like it's been more regularly for this season. It seems to happen more often.
What do we make of this?
Well, because you can't spread out as wide. I mean, everything is more consolidated and congested. So,
but teams can't figure out a way to like figure that,
wait, why is it more congested this year than any other year? I don't understand.
And then they put in these teams are able to put in these special jumbo lineups on defense, and they can really clog up the center.
Yeah, but Philadelphia tush pushes in every time. So
that might be it. Maybe a team all these teams, like if you're in the NFL, you have to have a plan to defending the tush push. So maybe they're just more adept at the short yardage defense. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure though. I
don't know why more teams don't play the trickaroo balls. Those trickaroo balls on those short yardage down at the goal line were like handoff one way and then handoff the reverse, and then the reverse guy pitches it to the tight end. That shit works every time, it seems. Like it almost never doesn't work.
Because you're so close to the end zone. If you start going backwards and it blows up, you just look so stupid. You start laddering the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
It doesn't usually blow up. It's amazing how often that works.
I would love for you to be an offensive coordinator. You just telling teams like, hey, trickaroo ball coming up.
Trickaroo ball. You hand off to one guy, he's going left. He gives it to the wide receiver coming back the other way, and he flips it to the tight end sneaking out the back door.
Trickaroo ball. Will, what's next?
What do we have for Jets Browns? 1.5 or 2? I'm seeing both.
For the Jets and the Brownies, the Jets coming off their big blockbuster trades where they traded.
I'm saying 2 or 2.5 in that.
I'll just Sauce to the Colts for 2 firsts, and then Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys for 1st and 2nd.
Seen a lot of 2.5.
What you're saying?
2.5,
maybe 2.
I think it's 2.5.
Okay, 2.
No, let's do 2. There's plenty of 2s out there.
We'll go to 2.
I'll take the 2 with the New York Jets. I just don't think that the Browns are 3.5 points better on a neutral field than the Jets or anybody. This game is likely going to be played in rain. Dylan Gabriel is from Hawaii. He's made comments in the past that he doesn't like playing in bad weather, that every game should be played on the sunshine. And the Jets were actually decent last time we saw them with Fields, who moved the ball pretty well. You look at the Browns defense, much better at home than on the road. They've given up over 30 points per game on the road. I know some of that is turnovers. There was a Raven game where they turned it over like crazy, but big home road splits, buying low on the Jets. I don't think that Gardner and Williams made that much of a difference anyway. They weren't playing great defense with those guys. So what were you saying the other day, Gil? If you can suck with them, you can suck without them. I'll take the 2 points here with the New York Jets.
New York Jetropolitans, who at least in the short term, you're right. I mean, they did suck with him. They'll suck without him. But man, they don't have those 2 players. You're so right about Dylan Gabriel too, though. Has Dylan Gabriel done anything in his 4 starts to make anybody think he's going to be good?
He throws to Harold Fannin Jr. well.
Yeah, he does do that. Will we see Shador? I don't know.
I don't think so.
At some point,
he'll be on the team bus, won't he?
He will be cited on the team bus. You're correct.
I like Will's side too. I think it's an overreaction. You've got players who's playing for jobs, and the future is bright down the road for the Jets. And
is it?
I think it is.
I'm very offended by that remark, Chris. We're both offended.
Who's Cleveland to be laying points in the road?
Well, I agree with that, but you know what the point I make with the Jets thing is it a good thing for them getting all these draft picks? Yes, right. And I agree. Sauce wasn't playing as well. Quinton Williams, you could look at some advanced stats. Both of them were playing as well. But the Jets, 3 drafts ago in 2023, they drafted Sauce 6th, Garrett Wilson 10th, Johnson, the defensive lineman, who's a Pro Bowler, 26th, I believe it was, and then Breece Hall, 30-something in the second round. So they've already perfected a draft. They nailed the draft. And 2 of them are gone, and they still suck.
And
so
they
it's
couldn't
like
get a bite on Breece for a 3rd-round pick.
That's what I'm saying.
How many of these teams are on their 3rd running back? And nobody would give a 3rd-round pick for Breece. That was a little surprising.
Breece Hall may be my favorite ever college football running back. Loved that dude at Iowa State. So good. How come Matt Campbell couldn't win with Breece and Brock Purdy? How was that a problem? All right, I get 2. I am going with the Minnesota Vikings, Will Hill's favorite team. This was the only play I made on a little show, Todd. I don't know if you're aware of it. It's called Guessing Lines that I do on Monday.
Is that a show you do in an announcer's voice a little bit like this? Hey, it's Guessing Lines with Gilly Alexander.
No, not in that voice. But I'm taking the Vikings. I got them at 4 earlier this week. What are they right now? Consensus 4 or 3.5?
I think 4.
I think 4 is fair.
Yeah, they got to 4.5 at one point. That ticked quickly back down. I just don't really think, listen, for the season, I thought Baltimore was great too. Spate of injuries. The last time we saw them against the Dolphins, yes, they got inside the Dolphins' 25-yard line 4 times. They scored 28 points. The Dolphins got inside their 25-yard line 4 times and only ended up with 3 points, which is to say that the Ravens defense, though it is getting reinforcements here, Ravens defense hasn't done much. And I don't think, like everything I've seen from the Vikings defense to me, first of all, I think they have the best defensive coordinator in all of football. Brian Flores is awesome. And that defense generates pressure without having to blitz. I think they do that here against Baltimore, which even in victory didn't really impress me. And I think J.J. McCarthy will, I don't want to anoint him or anything.
Cut it out.
But when he needs to make a play, he has consistently made plays. And I don't ask much of him.
Consistently?
No. Well, in crunch time, he has won a couple games for them making a big play. I'm not saying he's Drake May.
You see what I'm doing with my head here?
Yeah, God forbid I say he's Drake May, the greatest quarterback who's ever lived. But he is, I think he's serviceable at the very least. I like Minnesota plus the points. Give me the points. I'm taking them.
It's one of mine too, Gilly.
What's that? Was one of yours?
That's one of mine too. How about this for a statistical oddity? J.J. McCarthy, 143 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception in a 27-24 victory. You can say that about both his wins, both against the Bears, the Lions, exact number of yardage, final score, touchdowns, and interception, 143, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 27-24 for both of his games. Really
I thought
weird.
in the second half he was very, very, very pedestrian. Very pedestrian.
I will take that exact same stat line for this game, and they'll cover. My final play.
No, 1 second. Slow down. You're getting that all messed up. Okay, actually, you're right. It was your snake, and then Willie jumped in front of you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, Willie was correct. Jump in front of me. Okay, it's I'm fading the Washington Commandos.
Oh, he goes against his own guy. Oh, my God.
I've done that for years.
Have you? Let's ask the ANG historian. In 42 opportunities to go against his own team, it clearly states that Gilly is a homer. But go ahead.
It does not. And for years and years and years until they drafted Jaden Daniels, I faded this team mercilessly. But people have short-term memories, and they're idiots like you are.
I'm just giving you the business. Let a guy give you the business.
I don't like your business. I'm rattled by your jersey. Minus 7.5 is this, or minus 8? What am I getting? Minus 8, I think it is.
Minus 8.
I'm taking Detroit. I think they can name their score. I think Mariota is better than most people give him credit for. So I don't think that Washington will be completely bereft on offense, but nobody was open against the Seahawks. And I mean, nobody. And Jaden was running for his life on every play he was scrambling. I love the people afterwards who are like, oh, he's got to learn how to not get hurt. Shut up. Shut up. Hate you people. I have generational trauma with RG3 and Joe Theismann and Alex Smith, and I could go
Billy
on.
Kilmer.
Anyway, yeah, Billy Kilmer also. I think he probably got hurt at some point. So I'm just saying, I think Mariota is going to be okay in that offense. He's the exact same kind of player. He's like Jaden Light. But defensively, this team can't stop anybody. And Jaden or Schmaden, none of them play defense. And I think Detroit can name their score, and I think they cover the 8 points.
By the way, did they realize that the Smith-Njigba was going to get every pass? It seemed like nobody on their defense had any idea that every time this Smith-Njigba guy is running, you should stand next to him because the ball is coming over there.
Well, do you remember when Aaron Schatz was on was it last week or the week before?
2 weeks ago, I think.
And we got in the argument. He said, "Oh, they have a very average defense." And I go, "No, they suck." Like last year was the time where they were sneaky average. This year they stink. They miss St. Juste. They miss Jeremy Chin. They don't use Frankie Louvu correctly, who, by the way, was suspended for what was not a hip drop tackle, and the NFL reversed it. So Frankie Louvu will play. And Marshawn Lattimore, has been terrible. He's now out as well. That might be an addition by subtraction. But they're just terrible on D. Terrible. So Detroit is the play.
Lions have some offensive line issues this week, so that's a concern with them. But they should roll.
They should roll. They should roll. As should Denver. But you know how this goes.
Yep.
Yeah. Willie.
No, Willie went with the Vikes for his.
Yeah, Vikings was my last one. I'm with you.
You want to talk more about how you love your Vikings, Willie?
I don't love them. I'm just surprised that it's 4, so I'll take the points.
No, but you love them as a team. That's your favorite team, is it not?
Oh, it's my favorite team. Love is not a word. No, love is not the right word.
What's the right word?
He's never been in love, Todd.
Oh, that's true.
Love
that's
with
true.
love. Like
That's true. He made my heart out. He made a transaction with his wife about the food for dinner, and that was the end of it. Wasn't right. Love.
Oh no! Wyatt is clutching his pearls behind the
Wyatt's not happy.
Wyatt's not happy with you. Todd, what's your last pick? We've had just about enough of you.
My last pick will be, I'm going to go out to Florida again. How many more Florida teams are there? I'm going to go out to Florida again. This time I'm going to stay on the Western Shores in the same ball game, that Tampa Bay ball game against the New England Patriots. I'm going up, and over the number, which is 48, I believe. I like over 48. To me, the Pats are this year's there's a couple of teams that have great offenses and no defenses, like the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals. But if you take those teams out of it, because those teams, in my opinion, don't even really have defenses at all. The Patriots are a team that at least has a defense. It's not very good, in my opinion. They're good on offense, so I think they'll be able to score against Tampa. And Tampa is very, very, in my opinion, consistently good with their offense. And the Patriots' defense, to me, is not exactly ready for them. So 48 points for me here doesn't seem like too much. I think we could easily get this. I mean, the Patriots are throwing the ball downfield every
a lot of 48 and a half,
game.
By the way. What do you guys think? 48
it's
or 48 and a half?
It is not.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Don't let him screw me like that. You don't want to win like this, Gilly. You just don't.
Well, let me see. The consensus is 48. Yeah, there's enough 48s. It's 48.
48 it is. Very good.
I'm glad we gave it to him. I want him to get the 48. I just want to make sure.
You don't want to win like cheating like the other week with that 41 and a half, 41 nonsense with San Francisco.
Cheated you?
Yeah, of course. Anyways, in the Oppo pick.
Aaron Schatz, creator VOH, Todd Wishnev.
Of course, because he didn't like my comment about the 1935 Pittsburgh Steagles, half Pittsburgh Steelers and Eagles. They merged that year in DVOA. Anyways, I'm going to go with the over. I just think there's going to be a lot of offense. The Patriots typically have a lot of offense, although I think their defense is getting a little better. They were outstanding, I thought, against the Falcons, but I just think Tampa Bay has too much offense to not be able to move it against the Patriots. And I think the Patriots are going to move it against everybody. I mean, who have they struggled moving the ball against? Even the game they lost to Pittsburgh, they fumbled inside the 5 like 40 times. Otherwise, they would have scored 1 million points that game. The Patriots are tough to stop now. So give me that over 48 and that Pats against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He ends everything like that now. Chris is shaking his head. Chris?
I don't know why you think their defense is no good. You've mentioned it twice.
That's right.
Chris, let me ask you a question. If your wife or your close loved ones would talk to you in an announcer's voice like this and say, "Hey, Chris, what do you want for breakfast?" Would it be more or less entertaining?
It would be less entertaining, I think.
In the words of the great,
and I'm going to go also with more annoying as well, probably.
I would take that over the Miami Dolphins theme song, though.
Yeah. In the words of my mishpucha, Chrissy Andrews, as stated at a dinner table at Nora's, I wouldn't hire you to do this show. I wouldn't hire you.
Some people can't laugh. What can you say? Go ahead.
Can you say? Yeah, Chrissy, no, not laugher.
Yes,
Sure, not
yes.
laugher. Chris, what's your final one?
My final one, I'm going to go with, well, I already said the Jets, so I'll change game since nobody's talked about it. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts to rebound off of last week. I just have them significantly better. I think that this game is being played in Berlin. I think that they're going to handle the travel better. I think Atlanta's coaching is subpar.
Why do you think they'll handle the travel better?
Well, I'm going to explain that.
Oh, okay.
I think
I'm curious.
I think the Atlanta coaching is weak.
Yeah.
They demonstrate that week after week. They're a younger ball club. And I just think that the distractions is, with that kind of, leadership and with the younger, sort of team is going to be more on their side. Whereas you've seen the Colts time after time be in situations, they've got good coaching. They're focused. They mean business. And, 6 turnovers and they were within 1 score last game. So it takes a disaster for them to be put away.
-5. Yeah.
And they've had several situations where, data history dictates they're not going to win in this situation. This is just an awful spot. And they did win those spots. So I just think that they're more disciplined, more focused. And I think they've got the eye on the prize and they have the ability to put Atlanta away. So
Chris, speak more about the Raheem, the elephant in the room called Raheem.
Silence.
No
comment.
He said they're terrible on coaching.
Why are they going to handle the travel worse though? I want to know this answer.
Okay, because they're younger. They're they're inexperienced. They don't have as many veterans. I don't think it's a factor that is make or break. I just think it's a small thing to mention that I'm aware that it's being played in Berlin. And if anything, I think the Indianapolis will benefit if either of the teams do. Is that better stated?
Would you agree? Would you agree, in my opinion, and I'm always bashing Raheem on our text threads, would you agree that Raheem is in the bottom 10% of NFL coaches? I think he's horrendous.
Yeah, I think he did something bad. He does something bad almost every game. It's either time management or what he's doing with players. It's unbelievable. I don't understand him. I really don't.
All right, to the teaser of the week, Chris, for your favorite 2-leg 6-point teaser.
2-leg.
What was the line before he does his teaser? I had 6.5 in Indy. What did you have, Gil? You said something different.
I didn't say anything, did I?
I thought you said -5, but I thought it was 6.5.
No, I meant on the turnover. I'm sorry, I should have been clear. On the turnover margin, they were -5. He said 6 turnovers and -5 on the turnover margin.
But Indy is 6.5, correct?
Indy is... where is this game? Oh, it's Berlin. That's why I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
6.5. Yeah, okay. 6.5 painted 6.5.
Okay.
All right.
Teaser for Chris.
You don't want to do a 2-legger?
No, I want to do a 3-teamer.
Well, this is against the MegaPod byline.
Yeah, but the problem is that a 3-team teaser, let's say at a U.S. shop, like, are we allowed to mention U.S. shops? Or?
Yeah, sure.
A 3-team teaser at DK, it offers much more value than a 2-team teaser at DK.
Okay.
So it's actually a better value play. And actually...
how about you give us both? How about that?
I can do that.
Yeah.
So let's start off with a quick 3-team teaser.
Yeah.
Start off tonight with the Denver Broncos. Teams in their situations. We've talked ad nauseum about Denver previously, so enough said about that. But they also fall into a 46-5 and 37-1 just win outright mold of teams favored by 7.5 and where the total sits. So
but they're 9.
So they're supposed to win this game. I believe they'll win this game. My second leg will be Indianapolis because I time space all teasers so that I leave no orphans. Why would I marry two teams together and waste a team when I can use them in a different combination and make sure teams do not go wasted? So perfect setup, Indianapolis early morning. I'll take them plus 3.5. And we just spoke about why I liked Indianapolis. And the third team I'll use is the number 2 rated defense in the National Football League, the New England Patriots. Although some believe they have no defense.
I didn't say they have no defense. I just don't think it's that good.
Granted, they've had weaker competition, and will they be number 2 by the end of the year? Probably not, but it's satisfactory. Love their
they have the easiest schedule the rest of the way too.
Yeah. So I love their schedule. Their coaching. They themselves have been in a lot of situations where they should have folded. History dictates that they should fold in these situations, and they didn't. They won the 3 road games in a row, which is death usually in the past, but they won them all in a row. This teaser situation is over 90% over the last 5 years, taking that up. They're plus 2.5, taking it up to plus 12.5.
Oh, so this is a 10-point. This is a 10.3 teamer.
Here's the thing. Yep. And explain the orphan comment because people will miss that.
I only play unless it's an absolute emergency. I'll only play teasers if they're time separated. Why would I? If I like 2 teams,
interesting,
and one of them goes down, I've wasted the other team. So I find a way to bracket them out and have them time spaced, and that way I don't leave any orphans.
Okay. And
I consider, if you're going to tease 2 teams at the same time, I consider that a marriage. So if that marriage breaks up, you're leaving orphans. That's okay. If they're time spaced and you leave an orphan, you've got time to find a foster home for it.
Wow. Wow. All kinds of analogies.
Yeah.
All right. What's your 2-legger? Just to amuse us, if you would.
My best 2-leg teaser would probably be, what? Come back to me on that.
Okay. We'll go back
Colts. You're going to take Colts minus 0.5, right?
Yeah. You take a Colts. That's one of yours. He's got to make sure he doesn't.
We'll come back to him, but I'm going to predict
one.
He's going to go with Colts. But anyway,
okay.
You want me to go first?
Yes, Todd.
I'm going to go for the Seattle Seahawks to go down to minus 0.5 to win the game. All they have to do is win the game. That's what Herm Edwards taught us about. It's about winning.
Try to talk in the mic, Todd.
Winning the game. Seattle minus 0.5. I believe Arizona's played it outstandingly well. I think it's going to be a little bit too much of a chore to go into Seattle and win the game. They might very well cover, but I will take the Seattles as my first leg. My second leg I have written down here. The line has moved, I believe. Oh, no, it doesn't. We said Lions were minus 8, right? I'm going to move Lions down to minus 2 for much of the same reasons that Gilly liked Lions minus 8. I love them minus 2. The Commanders' defense is an absolute crap storm. This team. We could have just said, okay, next play, 1st and 10, Smith-Njigba, whoop, boom, 15 yards. Next play, Smith-Njigba, 12 yards. Every single play, they just can't stop him. Amon St. Brown is probably going to have like 8 billion yards in this game. Give me the Seattle minus 0.5 and the Lions minus 2.
Who's St. Brown, by the way? What was his first name?
Whatever. You know his name.
Just curious. I thought you said Amon.
Number 14 on the Lions.
Aaron Schatz, by the way, by DVOA. Guess who the worst? Because we've had this debate off on our group chats. Who's got the worst defense in the NFL per DVOA? Do you think?
Got to be Cincy.
Cincy, number 1.
Yep,
number 1 worst. Dallas second. Miami. I think Washington or Miami.
That's exactly what I have on mine too.
Yeah.
By the way, that has to be the greatest. Hashem steals the cover from you and then gives it back to you in even more spectacular fashion. What I'm saying is you have the Bears -2.5 last week. Let's say you did. I didn't have them, but let's say you had the Bears -2.5. You're winning by 14 points with 2:45 left. You get a pick six to go up 21, 48-27. Next thing you know, they say, oh, no, he got a fingernail on him. He's down. Okay, you're still up 41-27. They punt. The Bengals now 1:45 left, go down, get a touchdown, do the new 14-8-6 shtickloch, make it. So now it's a 6-point game. All of a sudden, they get the ball back again and score again. And now your Bears -2.5 has gone from a sure winner to a sure loser. You're ready to kill people. And then the Bears come down, big deal. So if they get a field goal, they're only going to win by 2. You're not going to cover. And then the big tight end over the middle, bouncing off of people, rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling. And then you get the cover after all. That had to have been the roller coaster of the century for people.
You know, you would really like guessing lines on Monday.
Really? Did you talk about that?
It sounds like a shtichlach that I would do on the guessing line.
Did you do that one? Well, I was never asked to be on because, I'm not good enough to do a show. You know that.
There we go. Well,
I'll go Jets and I'll go Texans. I'll take two teams that are at home getting over a touchdown now with the teaser, and both low totals, 37.5 for each one. So that's a lot of points in a game with low totals. So I'll double dip with the Jets
9?
And I'll take the Texans. What am I getting? 7.5 and 8?
+7 because we have Houston at +1 in the regular.
Okay.
So
scratch
Houston
that. I'll do Jets and I'll go with you. I'll take the Lions down under the
Lions
whatever, -1.5. So Lions and Jets.
I'm going Lions, Eagles, Monday night.
Too.
Lions
Eagles
-2, and you're going with the Eagles for what? +8?
I think it's +8.5, isn't it?
I think he gets the hook.
I get the hook. Don't try to screw me, Todd Wishnev.
Philly
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
Yeah, Eagles Lions for me. All right, Chris Zinuk, Las Vegas Chris, multiple contest winner, easily offended.
Wait, before we ask Chris's next thing, what did he feel about the Green Bay Packers on 4th and 8 down a touchdown going for it there? Chris, your thoughts?
Oh, yes.
I thought that was odd. I wouldn't have done that.
The 4th and 8, you're talking about when he threw the pick across the field?
Yes.
They could have kicked the field goal, right?
Yes.
Could have kicked a field goal.
I would have kicked the field goal.
What was the score at that time, though?
It was 13-6, and I believe there was about 5-ish. Willie, am I right? There was about 5-ish minutes left. Maybe a little.
Well, if there's only 5 minutes left, why would he have kicked the field goal? I think it was more
I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. Give me a second. Here we go. Packers fourth quarter play-by-play.
Yeah, there was more time than that left.
I'm going to tell you exactly. The
and
amount
this
of time.
No, Jordan Love scrambled right, then got flushed all the way to the left, and then he threw across his body, and it should have been picked maybe for a pick six. But Mike Jackson.
It was 11 minutes left.
Yeah, there was a lot of time left.
Sorry.
So that's why I'm curious to not kick.
Well, I think we're starting to see some coaches make mistakes in the other area of going for it on 4th and too long when they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So, and I think Raheem may be one of those guys, if I'm not mistaken, but there's been a handful of these popping up more regularly where it's no, you don't go for it here. So
yeah, we've had these debates on a lot of these this year. I remember there was one that was a 4th and 7. And I took the position. I was like, why are they going for 4th and 7? And I took incoming. People were like, oh, they got to go for it. I'm like, it's 4th and 7. It's not that easy to convert 7 yards.
This is like the folding the paper. In the old days, they folded the paper one way and always never went for it on 4th down when they should have. And now they're folding the paper all the way back the other way and going for it too often on 4th down. Yeah. So they can't just get the paper right in the middle. They have to keep folding it. Why?
Not sure what paper had to do with it, but yeah.
I think the one you're talking about, Gil, I think me and Todd were on the other side of you, was that London game with the Jags and the Rams. And the Jags were down 21-0 with a minute or two left in the half. And I get it. 4th and 7 was probably the longest I'd go for it. I just felt like that 3 points was, I know it was the first half, but it just felt kind of meaningless at that point. That was more than anything.
Also, 4th and 7 at 4th and 7 at the 37 is different than 4th and 8 at like the 10, because it's harder to to defend all that yardage behind you more than it is, down in the goal line. I would argue 4th and 8 down by the 12-yard line is much harder to get than 4th and 8 at midfield. Would you guys agree?
Gilly's a good arguer too, because he counters with, what if it was 4th and 9? Would you go for it? And I'm like, 4th and 9, I'd probably kick. So it kind of makes our point look stupid, but 4th and 7 was like the last line.
No, I thought I could have gone either way on that. I don't think Gilly was wrong on that. I just think that
your point about the 4th and 8 being easier with the bigger field. My ex-father-in-law was an safety with the Skins, and he always used to say when it was bunched up tight that the defense had the advantage because it was bunched up tight. Right. So you can look at it. You're saying the opposite, right?
No, I'm saying it's bunched up because if you're down there by the goal line, there's no room behind you. You have to defend, so it's easier for the defense.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. My bad. Did we get a 2-legger from you, sir? Did we?
No.
Yeah.
I would probably use.
You're taking the Colts. We already decided.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take the Colts. I would pair them
too. Yeah.
I'd pair them with Houston, but I would add a third team with probably the Seahawks because there's plus 160s available on 3 teams, and you get better value on that. MGM has a plus 160 on a 3-team.
Gilly doesn't let us evolve. We're not allowed to evolve on this show. We have to continue with the. I tried to bring in props. I got screamed at. Had my head cut off.
Todd tried to bring in props until he figured out that no props were available.
And that's a slight problem.
Still wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, won't let you do it either, as it turns out. All right, final 2 questions of each and every Megapod that's ever existed.
No, first, which are the biggest teams to lose?
Bro, final 2 questions.
I thought you said final question. Sorry.
Gee,
sorry. This Drake May jersey gets me all ready to rumble, baby. Let's go, Patriots.
I'm rattled. All right. Which of the big favorites, as Todd said, is the most likely to lose outright? And there's a bunch of big favorites this week. Denver tonight, 8.5 or 9-point favorites hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. Colts, 6.5-point favorites hosting, in quotes, in Berlin, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not going to throw that in because everybody will pick that. Miami, 9.5 points. So Buffalo, 9.5-point favorites on the road at Miami. And then, of course, there is the Seattle Seahawks, 6.5-point favorites at home against the Arizona Cardinals. And Detroit, 7.5, 8-point favorites on the road against the Washington Redskins, otherwise known as the Commodores. Which of those, Chris? I come to you from the future and I say, hey, one of those teams lost outright. Which team was it?
That's a tough one because I don't see any of them losing this week. But
I came to you from the future, though, and I said one did.
You know there's a future and you know the aliens are coming.
I would just, I'd have to just by default, process of elimination, say the Raiders.
The Broncos lose tonight. Okay.
I don't think they will, but it's most likely.
Okay.
So
that's what we're looking for.
Divisional matchup, and
that's how we're looking for.
Stuff happens.
Okay. Toddy?
Before I answer, can I ask, in Germany, is the field grass or is it of the more synthetic type?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
I don't know the answer.
I think it's a grass field because they tend to play the soccer games on grass over there. When Dortmund plays Berthenhausen, Hassenfussen plays Hossenkleen, they play typically on grass. I don't know if you've seen any of those teams play soccer, but, Dortmund and Hossenkleen. Okay, so I'm going to say that even though I don't, they have some really interesting names of those teams. I'm going to say that the Colts could lose only, I think they're not going to, but I think only because it might be on grass. And it seems the Colts have this thing where they love the fast, sweet turf and they don't like as much the
Gilly said you can't use Colts, I don't think.
Why not? Oh, did you say I can't use?
I did. The one that I skipped was the Panthers. No, you can use Colts.
Okay.
Pay attention, Willie. Pay attention. Colts, I think Colts maybe because of the grass. That's the only thing I could say. I don't think they're going to lose, but I thought,
Wilson Hilson?
I will go with the Colts too. Falcons still have a lot of talent, so I could see Daniel Jones reverting to New York Giants Daniel Jones and the turnovers continuing. So I'll go Falcons. Colts. I always get this backwards.
I'm going to say the Colts too. I have that Danny Dimes performance the other day. has to trouble you just a little bit.
I thought he's called Indianapolis Jones.
That's
now.
right, he is. Indianapolis. What is it called? Indiana Jones.
Well.
Indiana Jones. Is that Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Okay, and then the final question, Chris. We live in a bizarro world. You have to bet a side in every single game, but you get one free pass. One game you want no part of on the spread. What game was that?
Believe it or not, Bills Dolphins probably. Ugh. No.
As good a choice as any.
Well, Baltimore and the Vikings are probably going to draw the least amount of action from me this week.
Okay. That's your choice. Baltimore, Minnesota. Toddy?
The game that I want no part of? Can you go to Willie first?
Willie.
Panther Saints is pretty easy for me. I'm not laying points with that Panther team, and Shuck does not look like somebody I want to back. Panther Saints is easy.
What about Shuck? What about him?
Shuck
player.
I think he needs to change his wording of his or the spelling because SHOUGH is not Shuck. It might be Shug.
There's a street in San Francisco, Gough. How do you think you pronounce that?
Gog.
Second try. What do you think?
Go.
Third try. What do you think?
Gog.
Fourth try. What do you think?
Guck.
Fifth.
What is? Give me the spelling again.
GOUGH.
GOUGH. Goo.
None of you have hit it yet.
Okay.
Bonds. Barry Lamar Bonds.
Golf.
Okay.
Goff. There you go. Yeah, that's what it should be. Schaff. It should be Schaff. I agree with
Shaw.
that.
Yeah.
Well, cough is like that. So yeah.
Is it me?
No, it's my pick.
well,
My pick is going to my pick.
Oh,
Then goes
right.
you. Eagles, Packers. I do not want to play this game. The Eagles are very difficult to figure out this year. Are they great? Are they just good? What is this team? I'm not sure. Green Bay Packers, same story. They lose to the Browns. They lose to Carolina. Then they crush the Lions. They crush this one and that one. Who are these teams? I have no idea. I'll just sit back and watch Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on Monday Night Football.
Mine is reflected in the line. It's the most closely lined game, which is Jacksonville-Houston. You can give me any outcome here. Jacksonville by a lot, Jacksonville by a little, Houston by a little, Houston by a lot. I would be surprised by none of them. None of them. That's the game for me. Jacksonville and Houston. And by the way, we are getting, as you said earlier, Davis Mills, again, not CJ Stroud, for the Texans. Las Vegas Chris, everybody, on Twitter at Las Vegas Chris, no H in the Chris, CRIS. Winner of multiple contests here in Las Vegas. Not doing so well this year, though, he says, but he'll be back. How much total prize money in contest? Have you ever done this before? Total prize contest total prize money in contest. How much have you won when you put it all together?
Oh, I haven't added it up. I'm not sure.
We talking seven figures or high six?
No, I think no, it'd be less than seven figures.
Less than seven.
Yeah.
Okay. Still pretty damn impressive. Sorry for offending you earlier and coupling you with Steve Fezzik. I didn't mean to do that.
No.
I'm glad to see that you're doing better, Chris, and you've healed up from all your medical stuff. It's really good to see.
More important than anything is that.
Appreciate that.
I know you have a landscaping project. Good luck on that.
Redoing the whole front yard.
All right. So you're good for you on that. Las Vegas Chris again. And right now, where can people find you besides Las Vegas Chris on Twitter?
Las Vegas Chris YouTube.
Okay.
We have a weekly show. I have a weekly show with Ron on Wednesdays.
Ron's last name would be
Marveleski. Marmeleski.
You don't even know, do you?
Oh,
His last name is Shuck.
But it's it's not a pick show. It's basically we turned our weekly conversations into a show and kind of split the difference. And we bring up various subjects. We go through what happened last week. We look ahead to this week, and we try to look at things that we haven't thought of before. Just try to. It's more of a process discussion show than picks and stuff. But
okay. Cool. That's where you can find Chris. Todd Wishnev at T.
At
Again.
T. Wishnev, yes. At T. Wishnev. If you direct message me your phone number and install WhatsApp, don't put it in the comments. Direct message me your phone number and install WhatsApp. I will add you as long as there's still room, and I won't add you the second As soon as I get around to it, takes a long time to put everybody in, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not added yet. I'm not added." Yes, I know. There's a million people want to get in. So calm yourself down.
Will Hill, host of the Should Have Bet More podcast. Who's your latest guest on the podcast, Will?
I had on Wednesday Tim Murray of VSiN talk a little college football playoffs.
There you go. Will Hill, Should Have Bet More. 3 episodes a week still?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Will, do you like college basketball? Are you into that sport?
Love it. I wish they had more games. They had that marathon Monday games all day, all night, and then they kind of backed off, and it was only night games. They could just have more day games. I always say this with
There's
baseball.
going to be some Friday day games. We're going to get some.
And we're not far from those holiday tournaments, those Maui and those Thanksgiving tournaments. It's a great time of year. It really is.
There'll be no sleeping from like November 20th to like all through December with daytime college hoops. Oh my gosh. Get your Drakes, get your Northern Illinois ready. Get ready. Let's go.
By the way, did that total increase on IUPUI or whatever they're being called now?
This is funny. Yesterday I saw it at 155 and I thought, wait a second, why is it only 155? But I didn't bother to go get it. Like if I was Steve Fezzik, I would have gone insane and gone and get it, knowing what I know. And then I wake up this morning, I see it's 183. Oh my God.
It was 180 when the show started this morning. We talked about it. And it was moving as we were talking about it.
But I was on the over in the first game against Ohio State. The first half was 66-50. And then they scored another 104. It's unbelievable.
All right. College Hoops with Toddy. Check him out. He's running out of room, though. Thanks for listening. Good luck with all your bets. Week 10 and the National Football League.